Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
Good morning, friends. Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health and nutrition or prescription drugs, we welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. Our number is 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about prescription drugs, you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you, of course, if you have questions about the longevity products, or if you simply want to contribute to the conversation, or if you want to share a success story, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your phone calls here in our at the end of our second segment. So try to get in early so we can get to as many calls as possible, 844-236-6010. If you're interested in joining the Brightside Ben team, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, or my blog, pharmacistben.com. You can also go to criticalhealthnews.com and click on the Join the Team link. You can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. You can order products, or you can tell them you want to join the team for a one-time $10 fee. Start yourself a longevity business, earn thank you checks, and help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. Their number is 866-735-2470, or you can click on the Join the Team link or order any products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, welcome back once again to The Bright Side. We've been talking nitric oxide and its relevance to good health. Nitric oxide is one of the key players in wellness and longevity and anti-aging and healing. If you have an inflammatory or degenerative health crisis, chances are you've got a nitric oxide problem. Deficiencies are common. Nitric oxide deficiencies may be one of the hidden causes of diseases. At least it's a contributing, more than likely a contributing factor to degenerative disease. In my opinion, anything you can do to increase nitric oxide production, to increase nitric oxide availability, is going to be in our health interests. And there's lots of ways to do it. Exercise will bump up nitric oxide levels, and conversely, so can relaxation. Getting enough sleep can be a great way to bump up your nitric oxide levels. And then there's the whole subject of nitrate and nitrite. Nitrates and nitrites and their connection to boosting nitric oxide. And how do we get nitrates and nitrites into our body to boost nitric oxide levels? Well, we eat them. We eat nitrates and we eat nitrites. Yes, much of the nitric oxide in the body is derived from ingested nitrites and nitrates. And these nitrites and nitrates are some of the most important of all nutritional compounds that are found in vegetables. And even though you don't hear a lot about them, at least in a positive way, you hear a lot of negative stuff about nitrates and nitrites, but in terms of their positive or health benefits, unless you're an athlete, we'll talk about this here in a little bit, unless you're an athlete, you don't hear a lot about the benefits of nitrates and nitrites. Nitrates and nitrites are thought to be responsible for the anti-aging and health benefits associated with eating vegetables and eating a plant-based diet, especially when it comes to the brain and the circulatory system. But there's a lot of controversy about nitrates and nitrites. So let's talk a little bit about the controversy of these surrounding these really important nitrogen compounds, nitrates and nitrites. First of all, nitrates and nitrites are very similar. Nitrites, nitrites, are the active form of nitrates. Nitrates are a more stabilized version. So nitrates and nitrites, they're kind of the same thing, except for nitrites are the active form. Nitrites are really the supposed bad guy when it comes to nitrate chemistry. If you started learning and understanding nutrition in the 1970s and 1980s like I did, and even perhaps more recently, you've probably heard this idea, this meme, this belief about nitrates and nitrites being some kind of toxic element or cancer-causing compound that's somehow best avoided. A month ago, someone wrote a piece about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, an anonymous author. We talked about it. This guy's showed up on beforeitsnews.com. It was kind of a hit piece about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. This guy supposedly had it tested in some lab in Switzerland, and leaving aside the dubious nature of this guy's claims, the point I want to make is that his points about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine being toxic was the fact that it had nitrates in it. Ooh, it had nitrates. That's one of the reasons he said the Beyond Tangy Tangerine was toxic. Well, if you understand anything about nutrition or chemistry, it should come as no surprise that the Beyond Tangy Tangerine has nitrates, because it's plant-derived, or at least partially plant-derived. Plant-derived minerals are going to have nitrates because nitrates are part of the soil. Nitrates are a constituent of normal soil. This is one of the things that bacteria do. Soil bacteria make nitrates, and then the plants use these nitrates. Nitrates are an important part of our health, and they're an important part of plant health as well. And the idea that these compounds, these nitrates are bad, quote, bad chemicals in some way is really silly and simplistic. And if you ever hear anyone saying this, you can consider it a sign that there's probably some biochemical ignorance going on. So anyway, if you followed conventional wisdom, doctor wisdom, mainstream health ideas for the last 30 or 40 years, you've heard that nitrates and nitrites are somehow problematic. That's because for the last decade or two, there's been a steady drumbeat coming out of government organizations and the medical model in general that you have to avoid these compounds. But unfortunately, as with most conventional wisdom, that's not exactly correct. Nitrates and nitrites are critical parts of the biochemical health machine system that we call the human body. They're critical elements of soil itself. However, nitrates and nitrites, these simple little molecular structures, they're just a little piece of nitrogen and a little piece of oxygen. They can be, like all powerful elements, there's a dark side. There's a good side and there's a bad side. Nitrogen kicks butt. Nitrogen is explosive stuff. We've talked about this a lot. Nitrogen is powerful, and its power can be used to kill things. Last week we talked about how the body uses nitrogen to kill viruses and bacteria in the form of nitric oxide. Anyway, nitric oxide kills pathogens. Nitrogen's a high-energy compound, and that makes it potentially explosive. Nitroglycerin, TNT. These are all nitrogen forms of nitrogen that are explosive. And so nitrogen can kill things. Nitrogen can kill microbes, and nitrogen can react with things. By the way, this is why nitrates and nitrites are used as preservatives. They kill mold, they kill bacteria in meats. Meats are perishable, they're prone to microbial contamination, and nitrites are used to kill bacteria and fungus and molds, etc. in meats. Thus the problem with nitrates and nitrites. They're powerful, but that doesn't necessarily translate to dangerous. And in the body, in addition to the fact that nitrates and nitrites are carriers of this super duper important element, nitrogen, the prime building element in the body, nitrates and nitrites are also precursors or raw materials for the incredibly all-important nitric oxide. Now, the fact that nitrogen and nitrates are so powerful, it means that they can react with things. And this is where the problems come from. they have a dark side because they're so powerful and they're so reactive. They can readily react with other substances. Most significantly, nitrates and nitrites can react with protein. And this is where some of the problem and even some of the misunderstanding comes from about how important or how dangerous nitrates and nitrites can be. And I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. Also, take your phone calls. 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this.
So you've been listening to Pharmacist Ben and Dr. Wallach for a long time now, and you're wondering if longevity really works. Hi, my name is Adam. I'm an employee at GCN, and I've been using longevity products for over 2 years now. Call me today to hear my story at 612-695-5982. You too can lose weight, experience increased energy, and feel better about yourself and the future of your family. Call today, 612-695-5982. That's 612-695-5982.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plan for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
Genesis is defined as an origin, creation, or the beginning. Genesis Communications Network began with the mission of providing you with the kind of compelling content you're listening to now. And at GCNlive.com, you'll find a free archive of our nation's history, narrated by GCN hosts, explored, shared, and passed down to future generations. GCN is the future of talk radio, but we should always strive to learn from our past. Together, we are GCNlive.com. GCN.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are GCN.
Senators ask FDA for national investigation of dietary supplements. This all follows the story was in the news a couple of weeks ago about the New York State Attorney General checking out herbal supplements. GNC, Target, Walmart, Walgreens apparently have carry supplements, herbal supplements on their shelves that weren't weren't what they say they were, and they were filled with had fillers and excipients, didn't have the active ingredients, etc. And now you got the senators wanting to do an investigation not on herbal supplements. Famous Senator